There is a moment in every life when you decide to rise, to stand taller than your fear, to speak louder than your doubt, to chase the vision that sets your soul on fire. This is that moment. And here, we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire, and truths that set you free. This is Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where hope has a voice, and that voice is yours. Stories. Let me see. Rochelle, let's see. Stories. I know we have to talk to somebody who's got an abundance of stories about her life and also an abundance of books that she's written about her life and other things. Rochelle, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, Kevin. The energy is so high already on this Tuesday, and I'm ready to go. How are you?
I'm really good. And by the way, you received a package this morning that just made your day, week, and month.
Yes, it did. From one of our guests, Dana B. Shea sent me some of her books and a giant spider and some other things that were appreciation of life. And the person that we're having on the show today is literally the meaning and the definition of love and life. So I'm just inspired by today already.
And by the way, it's Karen, not Dana. Dana is
Oh,
the one
yes.
in front.
I'm mixing the names. That's how excited I am. You see? I can't focus.
I know. I just know it. And would you like to introduce our guest so that you can pronounce her middle name? Because I will screw it up, and it's too good of a name to screw up.
Yeah, no problem. So we have author Dana Priyanka Hammond here today with us. She is a beautiful, enlightened soul. She has a website at danapriyankahammond.com. She's an author, but she's much more than that. She studied mental health and profession and found a way of living in a better sense that a lot of us can maybe just soak up a little bit. So welcome, Dana. Thank you so much for being here. And how is your day going?
Oh, it's great. It's just now that I'm here with you guys, it's just even more greater.
Exactly that.
Well, and she had to go pick up her daughter from school because they let her out early, and so she was concerned. But it all worked out just the way it always works out, the way it's supposed to, doesn't it?
Yes, for sure, for sure. I actually have to go pick up my daughter.
Oh, you have to. You have to go get her. I thought you already got her.
No,
Oh,
no, not yet. 12:35.
Oh, uh-oh. So are we going to have, well, we'll figure it out. So it's the way it's supposed to be. So Dana, tell us a little bit about your background, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So right now I am completing my master's degree in organizational leadership. So that, and I've just literally completed back to back my associate's and bachelor's degree in business administration, management, and project management. So I really feel that these business degrees really would come in play, especially in my background of authorship and how I have put together my healing community, Nas.io Dana Speaks.
Say that again.
Nas.io Dana Speaks /Dana/speaks. I mean,
Rochelle, can you pronounce that?
I could try if she maybe said it one more time, but tell me what exactly it is that you just said.
Yeah. So my Dana Speaks platform is a faith healing platform, a community where people can just join for just $5 a month. I want it to be very practical for people and something, because the world right now has so much noise, pain, pressure, everything. Now let's look at it this way. Oftentimes everybody go through trauma. We live in a world filled with trauma, pain, brokenness, whatever it is. As an author, it really, really spoke to me, especially because when I wrote my books, I wrote sharing about my trauma, sharing about my life story. So I really wanted to not just stay there in a traumatic place, but I really wanted to also bring a deliverance message after that, a healing message, an outcome message. And for that, I understand that people are in so many different walks of life that they're not completely there yet. And I really wanted to offer a community just where they're at and meet them exactly where they're at, where they are not being judged, they're not being ostracized, ridiculed, and they can just be their imperfect self. And this is what my Dana Speaks platform is, where you can just come into the community, you can heal from your broken places, and be a little bit more gentle to yourself. And because oftentimes, when the world beats us up, we want to beat our own selves up, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know what, nobody else is going to be much kinder to you. Why would you not be kind to your own self? And when I've discovered that self place in my own life and realized, you know what, I just need to be a little bit more kinder to myself, be a little bit more patient, because nobody else is going to. And you as a human being have to come to this place of recognizing that you are the number one person who are held responsible to be a little bit more kinder, to be a little bit more gentler, because nobody else is going to. While the world system is going to bash you and put that pressure on you, you have to prioritize yourself. And that's where healing comes from. And that's why I put that this healing group together, because I realize that not everybody understands that, and we really need it. People really need it. They need, and so I provide this little practical tools of self-compassion, growth in faith, strength, and grace, and these little workbooks and modules for people to purchase. And they're not expensive at all. I just want it to be very practical for people, so they can work on their own pace. And that's what that community is pretty much all about: non-judgment, judgment-free, and meeting you where exactly you're at.
And if somebody wants to join your group, which is pronounced again,
it's called NAS, NAS.io/Dana, DANA -speaks, SPEAKS, speaks.
And is that a .com?
You can put a .com, yes, but the website does come up exactly the way how I tell you.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So which is awesome. And but I got to ask you, what led you to this place? Because of your writings and your books and your past. You had a difficult childhood and a difficult young adulthood growing up, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So I have a really huge past history that is unexpected, and not everybody, I expect everybody to have a history like mine, and not as traumatic as mine, but I sought to have a better life because of the past history. And my past history started with, at the age of 4, as young as age of 4, my first traumatic experience, which was being kidnapped and trafficked at the age of 4, and being thrown in a rice sack, chloroform put in over the mouth, and being carried, God knows where, by foot, somewhere, I don't know where, but all because of the protection of God. I didn't get to foresee the severity of the trafficking. the person got spooked, and I ended up going to the orphanage.
And so you ended up not being trafficked and ended
No,
up in
no,
the.
no. I did get
Oh,
trafficked. I
you
did.
did
I
get
did
trafficked.
get kidnapped. I got kidnapped. I got thrown in the rice sack, and I
At
don't
4 years
know.
old.
At 4 years old, yes, yes.
Oh, that's great. Now, now that was not in this country, correct?
No, no, correct. It wasn't here in America. It was in India. Yes.
And I've come to understand. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in India, because they have 1 billion people, 750 million of them are Hindu, and 250 million are Muslim. And at least that's what I was told. And the Muslims are a minority race there. And because of that, they get trafficked a lot, and they become subservient to, and they get sold in, and that still is happening today, from what I understand. Am I even close to that?
No, no, you're absolutely correct. But I wouldn't categorize it's mostly Muslims. I because my background was Hindu background, and I knew that much that I was Indian. I'm 100% Indian. So and the but South Indian, but being trafficked coming from the Hindu side, yeah, it happens to anyone who's not being paid attention to, or whatever the condition would be. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with oftentimes when children do get trafficked, they either end up being street beggars who are forced into slavery system. So that's just their way of saying, oh, this is a caste system.
Yeah.
That and it's really sad though, because yes, there is a caste system, but then this caste system is like, some of these children and human beings who are out in the streets, it wasn't by choice, because they, at some point or another, was placed out there either by via kidnapping, trafficking, or just being poor in general, and they get treated like they're the untouchables and they're nobody, and that's where the word untouchables come from. And for me, that's really, really sad. It makes me sad, and I don't think there should be such. Humans are humans. They should be treated like humans, not like dogs or animals, or even animals. I have a heart for animals too, but still, it's just any kind of cruelty is just not okay. And unfortunately, there are so many judgmental Indians out there mistreat people because of they're not wealthy enough, or they're not good enough, or whatever their judgmental eyes see. and that goes with many other countries like Korea, China, even here in America. It's sad because I've experienced racism here in America too. So it's everywhere you go.
Rochelle?
Yeah. Welcome to the world is the way I would like to put it. And congratulations, you're human. But there's so many of these, all these things that we've talked about have been against the odds of you. And you took that and you said, no, I'm not choosing that. I'm going to create something from it, not only to help myself, but to help anybody else who's going to follow along with my journey and hear that there's another way. Was there a specific point of age that you remember that shift kind of happening, and what was going through your head?
Well, honestly, it took a long time for that shift to even happen.
Yeah.
Because I've endured years of abuse, even here in America. So I've prolonged, because even though that was my first journey of trauma, was at the age of 4, and then coming here to America, that was not a first good outlook for me as well, because they were abusers as well, my adoptive family. and the mother was a complete narcissist, and that just added more trauma on me. I think the seeds that got planted in my life is what really created what my future was gonna become, and
Right.
who I was gonna be, and that is what I had to overcome in my 20s and 30s, and just to establish myself in who I am, even in my late 30s now, and having to undo the baggages and undo the toxicity that I was raised up as a human being. I now became a responsible human being for my own self, in having to reverse those actions and behavior, especially because people, they're not going to understand you. They're not going to know anything about your background, you're not going to have mercy or justice, and they're not going to get you. So as once you take responsibility for your behavior and your action, you have to realize you are now the vital key to being a better human being for the next generation. And you have to hold the responsibility of how you're going to raise your own children and their children future to come, if you even have any. And I had to go series of even right now, I have to take mental health medication because trauma lived with me throughout my whole 30 years of my life, and that's a long time. And but how I chose to change my life is making a better impact for myself, better transition for myself, and also now that I feel that I have successfully done that, and I'm still a work in progress. I'm not saying I have totally arrived, because nobody
We all
arrived.
are. It's nonstop.
Every day that you're on this planet, it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, exactly.
And congratulations on the progress that you've made, because there are lots of people that might just say, I quit. I can't deal with this and I'm not going to do it. But you refuse to quit. What was it about you that gave you that inner passion, that inner desire to never quit and to continue to go? And then we're going to talk about your books.
Honestly, when I see it this way, when God created you, he created you to be in his eyes, a perfect human being. In our eyes, not so perfect human being. We are flaws and everything, a mess, total mess. But when we can come to the middle ground with how God sees us and with how we see ourselves, we can become a better human being. And for me, there was always that drive and that force that said to me, never give up, never quit, because in the end, you have a better future. And it really did take a lot of understanding to get to that point. I really feel like me lacking in life, like really became a driving force to becoming a better, successful person. And that's what created me to be a better, successful person as I am now.
I would like to suggest and submit to you that your life experience, first of all, I agree with you. We were all born great. Yeah. And in the eyes of God, and in the eye, when a brand new, beautiful baby is just a gorgeous little thing, and we were born great, and then we spend our whole lives having people say we ain't so great, and they've got this and you've got that, and the trauma that goes along with it. But it takes a special kind of person to be able to say, I'm going to handle it and I'm going to take care of it, and that's going to be the end of it. And what I want to do now is you've written 4 books. You've got actually, have you written more than 4 books?
Yes, I have total 6 books.
Oh, very good. Because the latest book that's out is Tear the Veil 2. So there had to be a Tear the Veil 1, but you've got the solo journey, and you've got a vegetarian cookbook, and you've got Abandoned but Not Forgotten, one woman's story of being abducted as a child, which is your story from when you were a little girl and where you are now. And I got it. And the other two books, I assume Tear the Veil 1 is one of those books. Is that right? No?
No, actually, that was my those are the books that I co-authored in, and that was not my original work. No, I co-authored in them. And my original work is Abandoned but Not Forgotten, the 10 vegetarian recipe Indian cookbook. And then I went from that to The Solo Journey, Why You Don't Need Others to Find Fulfillment. That is healing, finding your boundaries, setting your boundaries book. And it's not a teaching book, a self-help book. I released that last year. And then my newest book, I will tell you, I just released this year, is called oh gosh, now I'm going brain fart. I have a brain fart. Oh my gosh, why? So it's it's, let me see. The Solo Journey. Is this happening to me? Okay.
That happens.
Here in a second. Oh my gosh.
I'm a little older than you, and it happens from time to time where you just, I don't remember what it was. But,
okay,
but
now, it's Against All Odds. It's Against All Odds is my brand new book that I put out this year. It's called Against All Odds: The Enemy's Plan and God's Purpose. So
perfect.
Yes.
And you're doing extremely well. What motivated you to decide to write these books? And because becoming an author is difficult, and it's time consuming, and there's lots of ups and downs, just kind of like life. It's all part of it.
Right.
But what motivated you?
My true motivation actually came from because I first had to figure out what is my true purpose and calling. And once I understood my assignment, especially in my early ages, 20s, I realized and understood, I did hear, of course, from Jesus himself that I am an author. So that's how I understood my assignment, even though I struggled with that. And I had to go through a series of healing and journey, 20 years of my life after. I had taken the opportunity to sit down and write my stories, write my book down. And when I did, after going through a series of healing, it just came out from me, and I realized I really had a lot to share to the world. I really had a lot of compelling, my personal experience, my life journey to share to the world. But especially with, like, when you read books like Abandoned Not Forgotten, like my traumatic story, the abuse that I've endured, the trafficking that I went through, and people do get left with like, well, how did she overcome? She doesn't even share that. That is for a reason why I left it at 100-page book, because I wanted to share that in my next book. I wanted to share the healing journey and the process that I've endured, and that's what motivated me to share my story. And I wanted to just put my story out there, hoping that one way or another that it will touch somebody's life. And it will make a difference in somebody's life. If they did not know how to overcome, maybe they would feel at least some kind of inspiration from me that if this girl went through what she went through, and which her life was way worse than mine, I know for a fact I can somehow go through it myself and endure and overcome. And that is my end goal. I wanted for that to happen for somebody else and maybe touch somebody's life. And so I didn't want to just stay there in my trauma experience. I wanted to share stories like the solo journey, why you don't need others to find self-fulfillment. Fulfillment doesn't come from other people. Fulfillment doesn't come from things and items you buy and pleasing other people. It's all about looking inwardly inside of you and receiving your healing, finding your grounding, getting your grounding, being okay with yourself, being okay being by yourself. And that is why I wrote the solo journey. And then I wrote my spiritual side of it, which is my recent new book this year that I mentioned to you about, Kevin.
Against all odds.
Against all odds. And I wanted to share.
I remembered.
And I wanted to, if people don't feel any kind of hope, they can read Against All Odds, the enemy's plan and God's purpose, because there is, whether they believe in God or not, they have to know there is a force out there that wants the best for them. There is a force out there that wants them to believe in him and know that he's real enough to make a change in their own lives. And so that is the purpose of me writing Against All Odds. I wanted somebody to feel inspired and engaged and feel like maybe there is hope after all for me. Maybe if this girl has gone through as much as she's gone through and she shared her life. And also in that book, I wanted to also finally share to people how I overcame. And overcoming to me wasn't just about, one day I just, I looked within me and I overcame. Believe me, I'm just as weak and I can't overcome in my own self sometimes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need help. And every superwoman needs another help. And you can't be a superwoman by yourself. Even a superwoman needs both of her hands lifted up and her back have her support. You can't be super all by yourself. Like, you know how they say, I can do bad all by myself. No, you can't. No, you can't. You need that help. And the most graceful thing you can do for yourself is humble yourself and say, you know what? I need this help. And it's okay to lean on one another. It's okay because that's what those programs are out there. It's okay. As shameful it makes you feel.
I got to tell you, Dana, you're pretty passionate about what you talk about, isn't she, Rochelle?
Yes, 100%. And as you, from the beginning, Dana, you were talking about how you need to provide these things for yourself because no one else is going to. And if they don't see the example you set for yourself and where your boundaries are, then they don't know. They're treating you based off of what they've been through. And so many of us collide all the time because of our traumas, not because of who we actually are and what's rooted within. It's triggers that are coming up all the time, doing those things. And when you take a mirror to yourself and say, how much of this is me? It helps you so much in your relationships. And you've probably experienced the same thing. I know Kevin has watched me do exactly that recently. And it does it. Once you learn these things and you make these shifts, you can't go back. But it's not just an overnight thing. It's not just a blink of an eye. It's not like, oh my gosh, I had that one day. Now everything's fine. It's that one day where everything kind of breaks open. And then that's when the time and the movement starts to happen. And it can feel alone. It can feel shameful. It can feel so many things. But however you are looking at it in yourself, you're also projecting that. And I love how passionate you are. You are so dedicated into not just being who you are, but helping people also realize that. And you're right. We need it more now than we ever have before.
I feel like there's so many superficial people out there and who are in denial of that. Yep. And they look at you with judgmental eyes because they're so fake.
Yeah, they're unloving of themselves, so they don't understand how to provide that. That's why a lot of times, we see this person hurt me. Well, they're hurting themselves inside too. So maybe just stop and think about that for a second.
And a lot of times it is the people act the way they do because of fear.
Yeah.
Fear of the other, fear of not being good enough, fear, all the things that happen in life. But can tell you, Dana, there's one guy that I know who doesn't have very much fear, and he's in Kenya. And I wanted to shout out to Rochelle. Would you like to read that to everybody?
Yes, Samuel says, greetings, Kevin's sister. Watching you from Kiberia slums, Nairobi, Kenya. Say hello to our guest, Dana. This is our favorite show, listening and watching with my team in Kiberia Restoring Hope Center. And hello, everybody. We love you over there. Thank you for doing the work you're doing. And I'm so glad that he joined in to hear this message from you, Dana, because he's in another country where he's trying to take care of these kids and provide for them between the mental and the physical and the emotional stability of what they have to get them through their lives. And yeah, I do think it only takes one person sometimes to be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
And there are some incredible people. One of them, I don't know if you know her. She's an author. Her name is Dana. And there are some incredible people in the world that are doing some really, really cool stuff so that we can all figure out how that we can make this place that we're living in, this wonderful planet that we have, the bugs and the sticks and the forests and the things that we've got to work for us and not be so judgmental and so hateful of each other because it doesn't serve anyone. And that is, it's awesome that you are taking that approach in all of your work and all of your writing. I can just tell how passionate you are. And by the way, you are continuing to evolve and are going to be, I can hardly wait, and both of you too, I can hardly wait for 30 years to go by to see where you are then, because it's going to be a remarkable ride for both of you. It really is. It's fun for me getting to look back and stuff because it's just fun for me. So welcome, congratulations on all the work that you're doing. I know that, and we need to take our halftime break and then we're going to come back, and then I know you have to go pick up your daughter, so we are going to have to wrap this up because we want to honor that. But then we will be right back. Stay with us, everybody.
You're listening to Brushwood Media Network, the best in syndicated talk, news, and entertainment shows.
Are you looking for your daily dose of inspiration? Stay connected to all your favorite shows, music, and news with the Brushwood Media Network app. From Positive Talk Radio to Greatest Vibes Unplugged and so many more uplifting voices around the world, everything you need is right in one place. It's easy to use, too. Always available and designed to keep you inspired 24 hours a day. Go to BrushwoodMediaNetwork.com and download the app, and you will always have Brushwood Media available on your smartphone. Download it now and make inspiration and music and conversation part of your everyday. And welcome back to Positive Talk with Rochelle. That's right, that's her. And my name is Kevin. And would you pronounce our esteemed guest's name again for me? I get the first one and the last one. It's the middle one that I have trouble with.
Yes, it's Dana Priyanka Hammond. I hope I said that correctly. And her middle name, as she was telling us before we joined on, is actually loved is what that word means. And the way you've lived your life is perfect in accordance to that name. And so I'm glad that you've kept it with you and used that in your momentum.
Thank you so much. I really wanted to, I feel like my purpose and calling is definitely authorship, but it's also more than just writing my book. It's share my story, is spreading the message of Christ, is spreading the message of love, because what does hatred do to this world but create more chaos? And really, honestly, this whole world is about spreading the message of love and creating peace and helping one another out. I really couldn't see it any other way. Because there's so many innocent lives that get destroyed and hurt because of one bad move, one bad mistake. And I am so glad that I am obedient enough to be able to create a platform as such as this to help others out and not be so selfish and self-centered. And honestly, I just want people to take the ride with me and join me in this movement and help themselves, because otherwise hurt people do hurt each other. But if we can reverse that and help each other out and make a difference and help each other and help others to find their own calling, I feel like there would be less envy, less jealousy, less whatever it is, lack that they are experiencing within their own selves that makes them in bad mood or whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah, that's inspiring. And I'm so glad we get to be a part of it, Kevin, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is you are, Dana, the essence of what this show is really all about. Is that we believe that if you work together with other people, recognize that we are all connected. We're all human beings. We all bleed red. Fortunately, we don't bleed much, I hope. And we're all part of the same human family. And we need to treat each other with respect and kindness and really work to create that. Sometimes it is necessary for someone to go through experiences that teach them to be able to move forward and then to be able to expand that to other people. And that's the work that you have been given, I believe, as part of your life's work. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm here for a reason. I've kept experiencing these dreams, and I would see myself standing before God, and God's like, "Go and share your message." And I would always say, "But how? How?" I never knew how. But you know what? The open doors come on its own. They really do. Eventually, it may not
Yep.
be just when you want it, but it is right on time, especially to be able to share the message, like my story, and to be able to share the opposite of what's created my healing, because I couldn't create my own healing. Is definitely a creation. The healing comes from above. It comes from someone who really loves us as human beings, and know that we are here to create a purpose within us and then be able to share it amongst other people. We're not here to be selfish in it. So that's what this message is really all about.
Well, congratulations on what you do. Don't you think that she's spot on, Rochelle?
Yeah, 100%. As you were talking there, it reminded me, like, we're not on this earth alone for a reason. It's not just us and the birds and the bugs and the trees. It's a lot of other involvement of life. And it doesn't matter whether you're a human or you're a bee or a bird or a bunny. I don't care. But that kindness and that gratitude and the understanding and respect should be across all life. And you doing the work that you do is helping people kind of be in touch with that. Because I think when people go through experiences like that too, it may make them a horrible person because they're just trying to protect themselves. And it's not actually who they are. It's their safety mechanism. And even the bugs and the bees and the birds and the bunnies do the same thing. So just keep doing your work. I want to respect your time. I know that we're at 40 minutes. How are you doing? Do you want us to close it up so that you have time to go get your lovely daughter?
Oh yeah, it'll just take me a few seconds to go
Okay.
get her. Yes,
Very
please.
good. Very good. Well, I wanted to
go-
give you the chance to share any ways to get in touch with you, any of your social medias, your websites, the books and things like that, anything you have coming out you'd like people to know about.
Yes,
I would
they
love
can.
to have you back on the show as well. So
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, they can find me at danapriyankahammond.com. And also, if they Google search me, danapriyankahammond.com, they can find all my social medias there where they can follow me, message me. They can even message me in my my website as well. So you can, yeah, I'm pretty Google searchable.
We love that.
That's part of the world today, is it, to get your message out there, you got to be social and media stuff and things. So, Dana, thank you so much for being here, and we really appreciate it. And go save your daughter from the school bus.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
have,
Dana.
have a great day. Thank you.
Tell your daughter we
And-
said hello.
Well,
And Rochelle, while we got a couple of moments before the end of the show, I thought that what we could do, I would love to play some of the points to ponder and have you comment on them. Can we do that?
Sure, let's do it.
Very good. And here's one that they did for me specifically, because they knew they being our team.
Yeah.
It wasn't some cosmic thing. It was our team created this because they knew I drove a bus in the past. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. You know, driving a bus taught me something powerful. Every day, people from all walks of life stepped on board. Some were cheerful, some were tired, some were lost in thought. Yet no matter where they came from, the bus still moved forward. Life is the same. We all ride together. And kindness is the ticket that makes the journey lighter. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope live. I am so pleased with that. And it is so true, don't you think?
Yeah, one of the things I was actually thinking about from the beginning was awareness. You were aware of what people were going through, so it made you in a place to where you were able to be there for them and meet them where they were at, and also create an environment on the bus that was, hey, whoever you are and whyever you're here, we're all in this together, and we're still going to keep moving. So I loved it.
Yeah, and it was, I got to tell you, driving a bus for 12 years, I've got stories, Rochelle. I've got lots of stories.
I know.
But the reality is, and I like to say that because I was a national sales manager before that, and then I became a bus driver. So I got to meet some really, vice presidents and big hoity-toity people and golf tournaments and 4 or 5-star restaurants and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to meet people that couldn't pay $2 for bus fare. And that is where humanity is. It's not one or the other. It's all of it. Do you agree with that?
That's the whole point of life, Kevin. It's about our journey. If we were all walking the same journey and we all had the answers, well, for me, that might be nice. If I just knew everything, then, but that's not the point, because if you know what's going to happen, you're not going to enjoy it in the same maybe way that you would if you already knew it was coming. Like if I knew I was going to die one day, I would live differently than if I knew, even if I had another week or another month. And that's the reality too. You don't know where your journey ends, but you get to choose to make it one hell of a ride along the way, in a positive manner.
Exactly. And this next clip that I'm going to play reminds me of your journey before I met you till now. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. A woman spent years hating the reflection in her mirror. One day, she whispered, "I am enough." Day by day, her reflection became her friend. Self-love begins with the words you tell yourself. Speak gently, because you are listening. This is brought to you by Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. And I just love that one because it reminds me so much of the journey that you've been on, the walk that you've been on to really, and there were lots of reasons and lots of evidence that you had that you weren't enough when you were a kid. And you have changed that. And now I think, and you tell me, I think you're realizing that you are enough and that what you tell yourself is so important. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. The more that I've paid attention to how I've talked to myself, the more I've wanted to fix it because I realize that I'm hurting myself before others hurt me. And it's weird because it's a form of safety, right? Well, if I can hurt me first or I can hurt them first, then they can't have that control. And that was a big part of it is letting go of the control. But I think the big shift in me, Kevin, was all the thoughts that I had, I realized someone else did. When I would go to the store or I would see somebody on social media or whatever it was, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was them. There's other people that probably have looked at me and said this same thing in their head, and we haven't really known the depths of each other's life and what got us to where we were at. And I think it came from, there was one day it just was like, "You're really doing this, and that's worth something." Um, just to wake up and try to be the best version of yourself and not cause chaos everywhere you go like I used to love to do. Because I was angry and, I saw this video that actually reminded me of you in this show yesterday, and she was talking to somebody, and they were doing an interview with her, and there was this moment where she just said, "I don't wanna be angry anymore." And I think a lot of us experience that, but we don't really know any better, so we blame ourselves for things we aren't even guilty for. It's just this huge process, but realizing that we all have the same thoughts about each other. So it's when you look at someone and you wish you were them or had their life or had their personality or whatever it is, there's people that have also looked at you the same way and wished that without even really having to understand you. So I think it was just very humbling for me.
And you just keep on keeping on because I have to tell you, I haven't told you this story yet. I was at the convenience store yesterday, and there was a new employee, and I have seen him like 5 or 6 times. And every
Right.
time that I see him, have a nice word to say to him. I say, "Hey, how you doing?" and stuff, and thank you, and was smiling at him. So yesterday, as I was leaving the convenience store, he said, "Hey, man, just keep on smiling." And that was for me. That was a validation that people are viewing what we are doing here and the person that I am in a positive way, and it made me feel really, really good. And then yesterday I was at the doctor because I had to have this. I had this checkup, and they said, It sounds like to me you're going to have like this procedure done. I'm not going to be specific about it, and." And I looked at him and said, "Oh, well, all right, if that's what I need." And she was like, "Boy, you're taking this well." It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Jump up and down and say, "No, don't do that." I got it. It doesn't work that way. So you just let it be. And
Yeah.
if I have always told you to just let it be. I love it when you do that with your eyes. Do that again.
I used to do it to distract my teachers because I was always in trouble, and I realized it would calm them down because they were trying to figure out physically what was happening. But my little eye twitch, I don't know, I got it from my mom. I've seen her do it probably since I was born. But Kevin, what you're saying is so empowering because I think I realized that I had achieved that for the first time this weekend. As I was telling you, for anybody who doesn't know, this is just
Yes.
so fun. I'm going on a roller coaster here in Salt Lake City. We have Lagoon, and we decided, well, me, just the person I am, I don't start off small rides. You go on the biggest, fastest, best ride from the get. And there is a ride called the Wicked, and it shoots you with magnets. It's actually not the same G-forces I thought it was, but it's all built by magnets that are pushing and pulling against each other. So it launches you straight up into the air right into the beginning of the ride. I didn't feel my phone come out of my pocket. And, most people who lose a phone on a roller coaster within the first few seconds First of all, they don't enjoy the rest of the ride. I got to because I didn't know it happened until the ride stopped. But it was this moment where I had a teenager in front of my face. He's working there, and I'm telling him, "Hey, my phone is gone." And I mean, any given person, you panic, right? Because these things are important to us. I thought about
They're
working and being
expensive.
with you. Yeah, oh my gosh, life kicked in, and I was in an adrenaline mode, and he said, "I hate to break it to you, but you have to wait 4 hours for us to even look for it." And I did exactly what I wouldn't usually do. Yes, I felt like I wanted to cry because I knew where I was at, but I was able to be so present and thought to myself, everything that's happening right now is probably in my favor. And I stuck and I rolled with it. I am here to tell you on Positive Talk Radio at 1:51 on a Tuesday that my phone is completely fine. It works. My ID was even still in the back. If you need a phone case recommendation, let me know. um, but everyone around me that was a part of my family and my day-to-day life even were nervous, Kevin. They were so nervous because, oh my God, Berchelle's about to blow. But then I didn't. And I still couldn't tell you exactly, like, there was no thought process behind it. It was just, this is what it is. And I truly believe because of the way I was able to carry myself and still enjoy that day and not be without my phone and still be present and enjoying these memories with my family, I was the one person out of almost 200 people that were waiting around for something they had lost that day, and my phone was untouchable. Um, it's when you start working on yourself and it shows through, you get to have these glory moments within yourself that are how she was talking about Dana, that are fulfilling. It wasn't something from the outside. It was something from within, and my work that I've done on myself showed through in that moment, not only to me, but to everyone around me. And I've strived to be able to be that person, and now I'm like, "Oh, I did it. Can you believe me? Look at me go."
And especially, I didn't know this before, that your ID was in your phone, and
Yep.
that's even worse because then it's like, I can't drive and I can't do that and all that. So congratulations! I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. You've helped me get to this point, and I hope this show, for people who listen to it, get that same impact. They learn something from us in a few months or a few weeks, even maybe in a few hours down the road, where they get that click moment or they have that, "Oh my gosh, I did it" moment. And it was being just us being able to sit here and be vulnerable and share our lives with people and share other people's stories. That's the kind of impact that I know that we have. And I mean, we have so much fun doing it, even when things are traumatizing.
Well, and the really cool thing is I have to tell you, and I have to tell everybody that's listening here, Burchelle has added so much to not only this show, but my life from the standpoint of I'm a little older than she is, but she has a spark of life that is just really cool, and she is remarkable. And she's going to be made this show better, and she's made me a better host. And and Samuel has something to say.
Hi, Samuel again. He says, "Thanks, brother and sister, to be ambassadors of Kaiberia Restoring Hope Center. We really appreciate the broadcast and our organization to the world." And Samuel, we love you so much. If you even knew the time me and Kevin spend talking about your organization and sharing that with all of our people, and the time I've spent crying, showing all my family and friends the videos that we get from him, um, this just him and having that, Kevin, I don't know about you, but I think we should make it a goal here on Live Air, to have me maybe go out there within the next year and be able to meet Samuel in person and help him out. Um, and if anybody wants to donate, go to his website as well. You can find him. It's super, super cheap. It makes a huge difference. And he shares with you exactly what you gave them and what it provided. So this is the whole point of what we do, right, Kevin?
Absolutely. And I can only tell you this. When we have the opportunity to meet somebody who is doing incredible work in a third world country where water is not readily available. And then he takes every Saturday, I get a picture, and he showed us the little video of the kids standing in line, all smiling because they were going to eat that day. And that's not always a given in Kenya. And so he is going above and beyond to make his world the best it can be. And bless you, Samuel, for the work that you're doing. Because and I can tell you this, every time Brichelle watches that, she cries because she's got a heartfelt passion for these kids like you do. And it's just remarkable and thank you. Thank you so much for being part of our lives. You have enriched us. Wouldn't you say, Brichelle?
Yeah, I don't think I could have really said it any better, Kevin. And it does. It don't all it takes, how you were saying, I'm one person with a spark. I think that's really all it takes. And maybe just to remember sometimes even our needs and our necessities aren't met. And if we spend time worrying about the things that are going to be gone tomorrow and replaced with something else, we're taking away our gratitude of life. You see these kids, and it's like, how are they still able to smile and be excited and be a part of each other in something when, most of us in the US wouldn't survive a week out there the way that they live. And by just doing one thing to help each other makes all the difference. It really does only take that one movement and that one person to do that one thing. Samuel is here to prove everything in that power because he started this on his own. And now he's finding people who want to help him and want to support these kids and want to make a difference in the world. And it really doesn't matter how small. I used to be one of those people, Kevin. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm only one person. No, that one person is what does matter.
Do you know? And we have to go. And I want to thank Brichelle for being here. We need to do this more often.
Yeah, we should, just for fun. This is like talking to you on the phone anyway, so.
Well, and I'll tell you that this show started with a comment that a friend made to me. Hey, we should do a television show. There was no following. There was nobody there. Now, just because I've made a commitment to do this, we now have got literally millions of people listening to this show. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with all of us working together for the betterment of everyone. And it's so heartwarming. And I get to talk to Brichelle almost every day.
We do talk every day. Don't be ridiculous. Especially when football's on Sunday. That keeps us pretty close.
By the way, she is 2 for 2, and I'm 0 for 2. She picked the winner of a football game. I don't know how she does it, but I'm going to have to start placing bets on her behalf. But it won't be red 34. It'll be red 32.
Don't start that with me. If you haven't heard the backstory, go find it somewhere in a podcast.
Exactly.
I'll achieve that someday. But no, Kevin, you just have to read the football spirit world and you can picture who's going to win. But I want to leave this podcast that we've done today and for everybody listening with thinking about Samuel and what he's doing in the name he chose for his organization, which is Restoring Hope. When you restore hope in yourselves, you create a difference and an impact for everything that surrounds you after that moment. So maybe just think about that a little bit more.
It creates a ripple effect, the effects of which you have no idea.
Buckle up.
Thank you. Buckle up, Buttercup. Thank you, Brichelle. Have a great
Thanks,
day,
Kevin.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.